What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, we're going to be talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I say Caribbean, I know some people say Caribbean, and the fact that it's most likely going to be rebooted. We got like official news basically today from, I believe it was a producer or a creative behind the scenes, that pretty much confirmed that we are rebooting this franchise. Jack Sparrow, as we know it, is no more. They're being wiped clean. They're doing a new story. I want to talk about what I expect from this new franchise, this new, start that we're going for here, and also what went wrong, all of that. We're just going to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean today and just dive into this franchise because honestly, it feels good to just be talking about a new franchise instead of like the MCU, this, that. I've got my vintage Pirates of the Caribbean t-shirt on here and I'm ready to go. Getting into things here, I feel like this franchise for the past couple of years has literally been in like purgatory. There has been no movement on a sequel. We haven't had any like solid rumors. We'll get into like some, rumors that aren't confirmed in a little bit, but it just feels like there's been nothing going on. And I get it, there's been the pandemic, but at the same time, looking back on this franchise, I mean, we have that original trilogy that everyone absolutely loves. They adore. I love the trilogy. But then we've had a failure of a sequel in 2011, just objectively, and in 2017, another failure. So honestly, I can understand why they wanted to give it a break and, maybe explore new things here with a reboot like we're going to be getting into here. God, I'm already stuttering here. But listen, like I was saying before, we've had a couple of rumors. First of all, it might be female-led. Margot Robbie was the big name that apparently was going to be, our lead pirate here. Also, Ayo Edebiri, I'm pretty sure I'm saying her name right, from The Bear, her name was attached to whatever this potential sequel was going to be, either alongside Margot Robbie or as that lead role. We just don't know because none of these have been confirmed. But again, today we got it essentially confirmed that we are getting this franchise rebooted. So let's just dive into here what I want to see from this new franchise, okay? In my eyes, there are two main reasons why that original trilogy worked so well. Yes, I'm ignoring the sequels like 4 and 5. I don't care about those. I don't think anybody does. First of all, your main trio, your core characters, Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow. I mean, one of the greatest characters ever. I mean, if we're just being honest here. Then, alongside him, you have Orlando Bloom and you have Keira Knightley. Happy birthday to her, by the way. Pretty random that happens to line up. But yeah, this trio, first of all, it's like this weird love triangle sort of going on, but they're just well developed, they're well written, and as much as I hate to talk about a franchise that I constantly talk about, it reminds me of the MCU, just in the sense of you have your main trio, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, but you still have that main character, Iron Man, and the main character in the Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow. They're the one that everyone looks to, everyone loves, their performance is great, they're kind of quippy, they're sort of relatable characters. I know that Jack Sparrow is a little bit crazier, but regardless, these movies had sauce, they had juice, whatever you want to say. You could call me corny, but it's the reality. Gore Verbinski did a great job directing these films. The second thing, speaking of, sort of directing here, is the fact that, I'm just trying to keep it simple here. It was a great story. It was written so well. All three of these films were written extremely well. The stories got kind of complicated, especially for like a blockbuster, you could say. And I think the thing that, is most commonly said among a lot of people is that they just don't make blockbusters like this anymore. Anytime I see someone giving praise to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, it feels like that's the one common positive comment that I always hear about it. And I understand that because movies today just aren't written as well. That's why I feel like On Stranger Tides and what's the other one? Is it Dead Man's Chest? I don't know. Those two, they're just not as good because they're not written as well. We sideline our main character, which also violates the first thing that I said makes this franchise so well. So you're sort of violating the main two core things of this franchise. Doesn't make any sense. Now that I've got that down pat, the fact that you have really great characters in there, and you have a great story. And I know that you could say that about any franchise essentially, but still, I feel like that's what made the Pirates one specifically so great. What do I want to see from this next reboot, this next franchise, whatever you want to call it? Because again, we don't really have any details, whatever. The first thing that's so important is that you cannot try to recreate Jack Sparrow. Let's just say for conversational purposes, okay? They bring in Margot Robbie, they say she's our next lead. I would be on board. Super popular right now. Great actress. She has the charisma. I think she would be great. But you cannot have her dancing around, doing, a drunk dance, doing a Jack Sparrow impression, trying to sort of like basically just encapsulate the same energy. I would want to see a new character. I want to see a new pirate. we could just appreciate Jack Sparrow and who he was, and then start a fresh story. Please, for the love of God, you're not going to be able to capture it, and it's going to end up being very embarrassing and stupid. If you want to have like a couple of funny moments, maybe she like says something that he said in another movie, like a little one-liner, fine. But please do not have this main character try to be the next Jack Sparrow. Try to be the next whatever this character is. Basically, you guys get the idea. Don't try to copy Jack Sparrow. Create your own identity. Create another really cool character. I believe they can. So yeah, that's the first thing here. The second thing that I want, and honestly, like I've already alluded to this and it's gonna sound corny, but it's just the reality. You need some sauce in here. We need some swagger in here. Bring in a good director. Maybe bring back Gore. This guy hasn't directed in like years. He's basically in director's jail right now. Bring him back maybe to, try to reboot this franchise. I get it. You're trying to, move on from the original trilogy or whatever. But still, I think he could still direct a phenomenal film. You gotta have those cool moments in here. There's no better moment entrance in a film for a character. I don't know why I said moment entrance. Than when Jack Sparrow in the first movie, we see him on a ship, and then we realize that actually the ship's sinking and it slowly goes to shore, and then he hops off right before it sinks. That sets the tone for who this character is going to be for the rest of this franchise. It's amazing. I want to have cool moments in here. Davy Jones, all these lines that he has. So sick. You got to have some swagger in here. That's the reality of it. And again, I hate to sound corny, but it's just true. You really do. Bring in a good director, because directors have so much influence on just the style of a film. So please don't choose just some stupid fill-in-the-blank director, whatever, like rental, essentially. Make this good. Another thing that, of course, I want to see, and again, this sounds so generic and just, run-of-the-mill, please write this movie properly. Don't copy from the originals, kind of like what I was saying about Jack Sparrow. Make your own identity. Get a good writer in here to write an interesting, intriguing story. Something that'll make us, have characters that'll be able to develop well. Don't add too many characters. Maybe even try to replicate kind of like the trio. Maybe bring a new trio in here, but just don't copy the original one, and have it be an interesting tale, a pirate's story. Think about it. This is the only franchise, realistically, that can do pirates. Jurassic Park has the monopoly on dinosaurs. This franchise has the monopoly on pirates. Pirates are so cool. I hate to sound like a 5-year-old, but it's just the reality. So write a good pirate story. I want to see all the lingo and this and that. I want it to get a little bit edgy, whatever you want to say. This is a pirate's tale. You need a good score in here. Write a good story, please. It's as simple as that. Take your time on this script. Don't try to fast track it. Oh, we're gonna, release this summer 2025, and you're trying to like rush, kind of like this next Jurassic World movie is trying to do. Take your time with the script. Have seasoned veteran writers or even directors maybe just glance it over, say, hey, you know what? Maybe we could fix this. We could fix this. Take your time casting. That's going to be very important. Make sure all the visual effects look great. You need visual effects at the end of the day. And also, speaking of visual effects, try to have some practical effects in here. I get it. It's 2024. Practical effects are like the old days at this point, but there's nothing better than practical effects. The original trilogy did it so well. Whenever I say original trilogy, I'm thinking of Star Wars, but I'm talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean, of course. But guys, those are basically my main points that I'm just trying to get across here. We need good characters. Don't replicate what we've already done. Bring us a fresh, interesting pirate story. I promise you, if you take the time to develop this script well, because the script's really going to be the thing that decides it, and the director, in my opinion. I don't want this to just be some generic Disney blockbuster. I want it to have some swag to it. Like, is that too much to ask for? Seriously. Pirates fans, rise up. Let's celebrate this movie. I'm kind of excited, honestly, like now that, everything's over, and it just sucks because it does feel like, I don't really want to get too much into this. Johnny Depp did get kind of screwed over with all this Amber Heard stuff. Don't get me wrong. The franchise was already dead by the time all these allegations came out and stuff, but it's just the reality that they kind of like got rid of him, and then they were just like, hey, actually, we kind of want you back. I really hope they don't bring Johnny Depp back to this franchise. Let it rest. You know what I mean? He was so great. I love him, but just let him die. Let it just end. That's it. Let's start a new thing here, a new franchise, fresh ideas, and I would love to see it. Like I said, I'm very excited for this reboot. It's a great franchise. I feel like it has a lot of potential that they could capitalize on if they just get the right writer in the writer's room. They take their time and they develop good characters and they have storytelling in their minds before actually, profit and all that. The money will come. Write a good story. But yeah, guys, that's gonna just about do it for today. Overall, I feel like I am kind of excited regarding the news that we're getting a reboot, because I don't want them to just drag on like all these characters. They're just gonna get basically character assassinated. They're just gonna end up starting to like really suck, honestly. I'd rather you just have a fresh slate, bring in some new blood in here, and make it an interesting franchise that we can connect with again. And listen, is it going to be as good as the original trilogy? I don't think so. But I still think there's a lot of potential with this franchise. It's not like the Jurassic World franchise where they've already had a bunch of bad movies and they're continuing to make more. I feel like this is a chance to really turn the ship. Get it? Because it's a Pirates franchise. Please, for the love of God, this is such a good IP that Disney could really take advantage of, making a great film here if they get the right writer in the writer's room. But listen, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.